So Irish interest in this 800 metres will centre on Laura Crowe, who has been running so well, and she's run 2:3 this season. She has run faster.
So the women's 800 metres coming up, sponsored by a distance just about 26 miles longer. So Laura Crowe in this for Ireland, looking to pick up her season pretty much. She's had an excellent past couple of summers. We've seen her appear in the Diamond League quite a bit. Also in this for Spain is Victoria Sauleda, competed at the European Indoors for them. Rachel Aubrey, we saw at the Morton Games last year. Angela Petty, the reigning World University Champion from New Zealand. And what a fine victory it was in that B race for Andrew Steele. Abby Fitzpatrick, Rachel Francois also here. Field of 12 in this women's 800 metres. So they're underway. Bella, Great Britain, Crowe of Ireland, Dudgeon of Britain, Lynott USA, Fricker USA, Petty New Zealand, Aubrey Canada, Sauleda Spain, Wallace USA, Selma Kajan of Australia, good to see her back again, Francois of Canada, and Abby Fitzpatrick of Great Britain is the pacemaker, and she's due to pace it at 58.59 and she'll go to 500.
Angela Petty from New Zealand is the fastest in the field with a time of 1:59. Our own Laura Crowe has the second fastest time from a couple of years ago, so Laura has every right to get in there and compete with Angela. The bulk of the field have run times between 2:01, 2:02. The pacemaker is bringing them through in a true and honest pace. Let's go and see what unfolds down the straight.
And that season's best of Angela Petty was secured in winning the world title in Guangzhou in the Universiade, the World University Games, where Thomas Barr had his glory as well. And it's Angela Petty looking very good at the moment at the bell. She's our real leader, and it's Michaela Fricker behind her in second place, and in third now is Laura Crowe as our pacemaker. Abby Fitzpatrick steps up. We're expecting a lot from Angela Petty here. She's had a really fantastic season, a crowning glory of being world champion in Korea a few weeks ago, the triumph on the 10th of June, and now Laura Crowe's falling back a little bit. She's fallen back into fourth place, and the main battle is on between Petty and Fricker. It's Petty who leads, wearing 63, Fricker in second place, Crowe still fighting back, trying to get up into third. She's down in fourth. It's Lauren Wallace just ahead of her at the moment, but with 150 to go, it's the World University Games, the Universiade champion, still holding her own from New Zealand, and increasing that lead now is Angela Petty, looking very good, very smooth, and Petty's lead is getting bigger and bigger. Fricker is up into second place, and Wallace now all on her own in third. What a good victory it's going to be for Angela Petty, a good margin of victory. Michaela Fricker in second place, and up in a third is Alexandra Bell of Great Britain. It's 1:59.90 unofficial, and the World University Games champion is the Morton Games champion too, inside 2 minutes, and from New Zealand, that's Angela Petty.
That's a very impressive time by Angela. Really ran it strongly from when taking over at the bell. Nobody really challenged her, and she really came home uncharged. She's a very strong runner, very smooth, and she'll be looking to the World Championships in Beijing next month, and where she can be a contender. She certainly looks like somebody who's capable of making a final.
Yeah, cracking victory in the end for Angela Petty. Did really, really well indeed.
She actually came very close to the stadium record of 1:59.69, unofficially there 1:59.90. Just marginally outside. Very good run by Angela.
Yeah, great result it was, Angela Petty, and I mean that lead increased as the race went on, and it was very similar to a few of the victories that we saw D'Agostino's maybe in the Cork City Sports, where it just got bigger and bigger margin of victory as it went on. So Angela Petty gets the win ahead of Michaela Fricker in second place and Alexandra Bell in third. And that's marginally offside her world championship winning time at the World University Games. That was 1:59.9 odd, 1:59.06 to win in Guangzhou. Men's 800 will be coming up shortly, but Petty, what a very, very fine victory. And David, just as she was moving on, as it continued, that lead increasing all the time.
Yeah, like I think that shows the strength and the form she's in, and obviously the confidence to take it on. But you know, she's had a great kind of couple of weeks with the win in Korea. She's maintaining that form, and that's always a challenge as an athlete. You know, you're trying to peak almost twice in a season with the World Universities, went out there, and it's probably very similar to our own Tom Barr. You know, you've got two pinnacles of the season. You have to maintain this now, and that's a challenge. So she's in the form. It's a couple of weeks out from Beijing. I'd like to know kind of what is a race plan. You know, when you win a medal like that, you run a fast time, other opportunities open up regards to get into a couple of other meets. So it's like someone once told me, you plan to dive and dive to plan, and your preparation is key. But it's very tempting to kind of get into big races as well.
So the men's 800 meters is our next race on the track. It includes the Cork City Sports winner over 800 a couple of weeks ago, Michael Rutt of the United States. Mark English was due to be in this field. He's out with sciatica tonight. He is in the starting field for the Diamond League meeting in London tomorrow. Touch and go as to whether he will be in that. But we also have Robbie Andrews from the United States. Geordie Williams from Australia ran the successful anchor leg of the Pan Relays this year. Álex Rodríguez back after 2 years of the Morton Games, but competed at this year's European Indoors for Spain. And Declan Murray making his third appearance in the 800 at the Morton Games after competing at both the European Outdoors and Indoors.
And obviously Carl Griffin, who's just coming off the back of a great sixth-place finish in the under-23 800-meter final. That's his first year under-23, so he also has that again in 2 years' time. And you know, Mark was obviously in that final as well and didn't fare too well, but Mark isn't here tonight with a bit of a niggle, so he's probably better off to kind of sideline himself and get that corrected. But with Carl, you know, great young talent coming through. Under-22 is a great springboard from junior into the senior level. And I think, to be fair to Carl, like he's probably reached his objective of making that European final and having a good performance. So now it's a case of just getting out there and seeing what's in the tank, seeing what's left for the end of the season. So it's a good little lineup here for him. There's obviously Niall Tui as well from Ferrybank going well, and Anthony Lehejo from Tala AC as well. So there's a bit of Irish mixed in there as well. So looking for good performances, some nice fast times, someone to kind of take it out over the first 400 and give it a good bit of pace.
Also Niall Tui from Ferrybank, who's out in lane 8 alongside the pacemaker, who's from Lagan Valley, and that's Ben Mays.
So it's always good to have a pace, or a hare as we call them, or a rabbit over the first 400 of an 8. So he's looking to go through in about 50 seconds to 50.5 to bring that pace through, and hopefully they'll go with him in order to get a fast time.
So the international men's 800 meters. It's Mutakanga of Uganda, Matthews of Australia, Griffin of Ireland, Declan Murray of Ireland, Rutt of the USA, Fizorek of the USA, Andrews of the USA, Geordie Williams of Australia, Álex Rodríguez of Spain, Anthony Leggio, Niall Tui of Ireland, and our pacemaker shooting out in front, Ben Mays. He's pacing 400 to around 50 and a half seconds. It's way out.
Yeah, so the pace is gone. He's opened up a couple of meters. Like, the guys have to go with him, you know, or it's hard to get a judge on exactly what the pace has gone through there in 200, but, you know, he has really strung it out already, and as you can see, there is a gap between the pacer and the next athlete, so they need to close that. So there's just 40 seconds there coming in, so it's already strung out, so he's going pretty quick here.
So behind our pacemaker, it's Mutakanga, who is out in front at the bell, and Rutt.
So a little bit slow there, Will, a little bit slow going through 400.
51.7. Pacemaker Ben Mays steps out, and it's Julius Mutakanga of Uganda, the London Olympian, who leads. Michael Rutt, who won the 800 of the Cork City Sports, where Mark English was down in third place. Well, Rutt is in a fine place at the moment. He's not in a rut at all, really. He's in second, and Declan Murray of Clonliffe is in third. And now, making the move on the outside is Michael Rutt with 200 to go, just as was expected. A fine victory in Cork a few weeks ago. He still has a lot to defend against the boys in Clonliffe colours, but it's Rutt who's out in front, and just behind him on the shoulder, Declan Murray, and even further out is Carl Griffin of UCD. Well, Rutt came good right at the end, and look at the outside. Here comes Carl Griffin. Griffin against Rutt. Can Griffin get another Irish victory? Griffin's going to do it. Griffin wins it. Rutt is in second place, and Robbie Andrews of the United States is in third. What a great victory. 1:47 unofficial. Great victory. How well he pounced at exactly the right time.
That's a great run by Carl Griffin. The pace actually slowed up a little bit. It got very bunched going down the back straight. Rutt took it out. Declan Murray got himself into great position around the top end, and just coming into the home straight, I actually thought Murray was going to go past him, but it was so bunched that the guys from behind in the field started coming up. Carl ran out wide, and this is what he did in the European Under-23 final as well, and came home very strong. He did the exact same here tonight and was rewarded with the win. Very, very good tactically as well, going down the back straight in the second lap, got himself into good position. It's always a challenge in the 800 that you don't get boxed in, particularly on the bend with 150 metres to go. So ran very smart there and was rewarded up the home straight. Great run, and he's in the form of his life, Will, in the form of his life.
Great victory for Carl Griffin, and when Mark English finished 8th in Tallinn in the Under-23 Europeans, Griffin finished in 6th place, and he's winner here.
Carl Griffin, a fantastic run. You held off some top-class athletes there.
Yeah, you know, I'm absolutely delighted. Coming into this race, you know, I knew I was up against a top-class field, and it never went through my mind, you know, I wasn't out to win the race. I was out to run my own race, and I did that, and as it turned out, I just felt unreal over the last 200.
You had Robbie Andrews, is obviously a 1500 metre, who was pushing you through there, but do you think about names like that when you're actually in the race?
Nah, like, it's just faceless, you know. I didn't know if it was Robbie or who it was, and just I felt good, and I just went past him and just kept working up the home straight, and I just felt strong.
What was the plan then heading into the race?
Had my own splits. It's actually a bit slower than I would have liked. I wanted to go 118, 119 at 6. I think it was 120, but I can't complain.
You're not too far off the record, which was set by Mark English, I think it was last year, but what are you looking at as you're working towards the future then? Where do you want to improve?
I mentioned before about getting consistency, and I'm starting to do that now, consistently churn out good performances at a good senior level, and that's what it's all about for me.
Carl, thank you.
Thank you very much.
So what a really impressive result for Carl Griffin as he wins in the 800 metres.